Hello, everybody, and welcome to Under the Arc Sports. My name is David Woldingen, and today we're talking Mizzou basketball. However, before I do, please remember to hit subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our Facebook, Instagram page, X, and now our podcast on Spotify. Mizzou's coming off a non-conference schedule at 11 and 2. Not quite how I thought they'd do it, but they do have a notable win going into the conference season for basketball. So, they got a lot of work to do. However, thanks to that win, they have a notable non-conference win over Kansas at home. That was a huge one. They also picked up that home win against uh, California. They ended up losing by 3 to Illinois in a really tough fought uh, bragging rights game on neutral court, which is not necessarily a bad thing because that loss isn't really going to hurt them as much as people would think, only because it was a neutral site and because of how good Illinois is. They just recently knocked off number 7 Oregon, so they got themselves a team over there too. All that did is solidify the fact that we have a solid team after beating Kansas. The biggest, probably crushing loss, in my opinion, is that first one against Memphis because you're up almost by 20 at a point. Ended up blowing that game on the road. But again, not really going to hurt you that much in the non-conference because Mizzou took care of business otherwise. Coming into conference play, they lost by 16 to Auburn on the road at Auburn, which was expected. And quite honestly, with how tough this league is, some of the other teams who were playing on the road actually got crushed way worse than Mizzou did. So it's going to be really hard to get a road win this year in conference play, I think. If Mizzou is able to steal one or two, they have good things going their way, quite honestly. Really, the only road win so far was Vandy knocking off LSU. So if Mizzou really wants to pick up steam for tournament play, they need to be able to beat LSU and Vandy, who coincidentally are the next two home games coming up. So, for Mizzou, in my opinion, to get to the tournament, they have to win at least six, but potentially more than likely need to win 7 or 8 for that bid, considering how strong this league is. And really, what that means is taking care of business at home. You have to win your home games if you want to be able to move on to the tournament. So Mizzou really needs to hunker down, take care of business at home. They showed what they can do with the crowd behind them at home against Kansas. If they can continue that type of play for the rest of the year at home, I think they'll be just fine. If they're able to steal one or two on the road, they potentially could go 9-9 in conference. If you get to that mark, you're looking at 21-11, I believe is what it is for your regular season. Um, just with how ridiculous the SEC is this year, from top to bottom, the hardest schedules are all 16 teams in the SEC, which is ridiculous. Um, so no matter what, there's no easy team on the schedule. Um, which is why I say if you manage to get 8 wins, uh, even 7, you have a good shot uh, to get into the tournament. So it's going to be real interesting to see how things play out. Caleb Grill back into the rotation, didn't do a whole lot against Auburn. Granted, a lot of people didn't do a whole lot against Auburn, so I'm not too worried about that. He's still trying to get back into the swing of things after missing a month and then well, maybe a little over a month, actually. But it's a shame he went down because what he adds to this team is something they desperately need, and that's 3-point shooting. By having him out there being able to spread the floor, it allows other guys to work one on one against whoever they're playing against, and that's where Mizzou's at their best, getting those drives to the basket and getting to the free throw line. So if they continue to get Grill back into the swing of things to where he was before he got um, basically knocked out, thanks to Linda Wood's clothesline, if you will. Um, it will really help this team a lot because they kind of found their identity driving to the basket, getting to the free throw line, making it hard on teams on the inside. But if you had that 3 shooting on the outside to this team. You allow Grill to get open and have supplement that with Bates every once in a while, hitting a three, War coming in, hitting a three, Pierce coming in, hitting a three randomly. It can really spread the floor out and allow these guys to work one on one, drive to the rim, and get to the free throw line, which is really their game. Um, Something I would want to keep an eye on, especially with the LSU and Vandy games. I would look for them to maybe go to um, Grill a lot and see if they can't get him going. And if that doesn't work, they'll go back inside. But it's going to be interesting to see how this team gels together now that he's back and healthy and shooting. If he can get back to form, like I said, this team's going to be very dangerous. They'll win their fair share of games and hopefully knock off a few people on the road. Because if they can do that, they'll definitely be in the tournament. Uh, Definitely going to be a rough go at it, especially on the road. It's going to be fun, guys, to watch this team play. This whole conference from top to bottom is probably the best I've ever seen for a basketball conference. In my opinion, almost every team could go to the tournament. That's how good they are. I don't think it'll happen. I think you'll see 10 or 11 teams eventually go out of the SEC. But because of that, a lot of fun basketball ahead. Next home game is against LSU Tuesday night. Hopefully the roads are clear with that winter storm that's running through Missouri. I expect to see a full house there. Then they have that Saturday game against Vandy. Really need to pick up those two wins if they want to have that shot at the tournament, because if you drop those two, then you're really in trouble in this league because it only gets harder from there. Anyway, looking forward to the rest of the season. I think Mizzou can pull 7, maybe 8 wins, maybe even 9. And if they can get to 500 in SEC play, they're a shoo-in, in my opinion, in the tournament. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and we'll keep you updated with all things Mizzou here at Under the Earth Sports. Thank you for watching.